And this is your latest Manchester United news. Jadon Sancho forcing a move and Manchester United make their first bid. Big news this evening. Lots to talk about. Very welcome to the show. Very exciting. But also I just want to say a big thank you to Boohoo Man, who are sponsoring the show for us again tonight. As you can see from my amazing modelling skills, I am wearing something from the Boohoo Man range yet again. And you can get something for yourself. The link is in the video description. The Boohoo Man range, a wide range of Boohoo Man clothing that you can get hold of. And not just that, they've given you another treat. Let me just make sure that this is off. It is. They've given you another treat. 40% off for United Stand viewers exclusive. The code is United Stand, all lowercase. So get the link in the video description, get the clothing that you want, and then at your checkout, type in United Stand in lowercase, and you will get 40% off. Big thank you to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the show. It's going to be a very big show tonight. And yes, you're going to get these modelling skills for the next 45 minutes. You lucky, lucky people. But look, thanks to Boohoo Man, as I said, links in the video description. Let's move on to the show. And look, people moaning about, oh, you're a little bit late. I'd rather be late and accurate than early and quick, or whatever the words are, you know. But there is a reason why I'm late. And this revolves around the second part of the title, really. Sancho forcing a move is something we were going to talk about. But also, there is an article in The Guardian by Ed Aarons and Fabrizio Romano that people are saying, where's this Romano quote come from? Well, it's come from an article in The Guardian saying that Manchester United have made an initial bid for Jadon Sancho that's been knocked back by Dortmund. £90 million plus £18 million in add-ons. And people are like, what are Dortmund playing at? That's 108 million. But it's not. It's not. And we'll get into that why in a minute. Romano hasn't deleted any tweet. It's on the Guardian website. So, look, I just want to say, first of all, I respect this community. I love this community. I would never go and do a video just for the hell of it. Despite what people have been saying for this afternoon when we went live about Romano and his podcast, I saw so many comments from people saying, that's not news, bored of this story, no news then. And I'm like, if you don't like it in the simplest terms possible, do one. If you don't like it, go. We've built this community up over 5 years. Transfer business is not for everybody, but for this community, consistently year in, year out, we've discussed it, we've got excited about it. And if you're too thick to realise that every video we do is a development of the story, then this channel is not for you. Go away and watch EastEnders. I think it's back on the telly. But if you're part of the 90% club, or even if you're not, you're just interested, fasten your seatbelt, get ready. There is lots and lots of developments coming for you tonight. So, where do we start off? So this afternoon was a big development. If you were too thick to realise why this afternoon was a big development, I will tell you. This afternoon, Fabrizio Romano reiterated again that Manchester United have no problems with... Jadon Sancho and his agents have got no problems with the terms. They're the same terms that were agreed a long time ago, and they are agreed. So that was a big development, and the reason that wasn't repetition is because Fabrizio Romano over the last few weeks has basically been called a liar by the British press, who've been saying that agent fees and wages are an issue. So Fabrizio Romano coming out again today, a month after he said it, and saying it isn't, was a development of the story because it was him reiterating that this is the case. And I said at the time, the interesting thing's going to be what happens in the next few hours after this new development, whether the British press will say that's not true or whether they'll change their stance. Lo and behold, Simon Stone, BBC One, Tier 1, Manchester United. James Ducker, very good journalist around Manchester United. Robson from the Evening Standard. All three of them coming out and saying the impasse has gone. Manchester United have made progress with the agent fees and the wages of Jadon Sancho. So that, this afternoon when we went live about it, was very significant and has been proved to be significant because it has momentumized, if that is a word, this Jadon Sancho deal. The British press have now acknowledged what they wouldn't acknowledge a month ago, that there is no issue with Jadon Sancho's wages and his agent's wages either. So it's a massive progression. But of course, I understand for some people this is a little bit hard because they're a little bit thick when it comes to transfers. Most of you aren't. So most of you will be understanding that when we go live this afternoon and say Romano is saying what he said a month ago, but it's significant because he's basically saying to people who are calling him a liar, he's not. Let's see what happens. Then what happens is the British press agree with it. But not only that, more than that. Because now what we are in a situation with is, now we all know Jadon Sancho's wages and agent fees are not an issue. And we've been living in this murky puddle for the last month. But now we know it's not an issue. So now we're now moving forward with this story. And this is where the developments then come. Because James Ducker then comes out with this little gem. That Jadon Sancho's determination to push through a move to Manchester United before October the 5th has helped to break the deadlock and has provided renewed hope of a deal. So this is where Jadon Sancho forcing the move is now in the British press. And the significance of this is James Ducker, Simon Stone, James Robson, and also when Simon Peach does tweet about it, these are significant people with significant links into Manchester United, whether that be briefed by the club or just closeness to the club. They're respected voices. So when James Ducker is saying that Jadon Sancho is effectively forcing the move now because he wants it, this is momentum, this is important, and if you are interested in this transfer, it's very, very exciting because we are getting the movement that I said last week I expected to happen. As soon as Jadon Sancho wasn't playing for England, I expected today to start seeing momentum, and lo and behold, we've seen it. We might not have seen it. I'm not saying I was told it was going to happen, but to me and many others, it was clear it would happen. But then further to that, we've now got this further story, like I said, coming from The Guardian in the last 15 minutes, written by Ed Aarons and Fabrizio Romano, saying that Manchester United have made a breakthrough in the pursuit of Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. And the takeaway points are this: United have so far been reluctant to meet the demands of Dortmund, which is 120 million euros or 108 million pounds. It's understood that Manchester United have actually offered to pay an initial 90 million, a fee that would set a transfer record for an English player, plus a further 18 million potentially due in performance-related add-ons. Now, some people are getting their knickers in a twist here. If they wear knickers, maybe they wear pants or boxer shorts or nothing. It's up to them. That's irrelevant. The point is, some people are getting frustrated and saying, what are Dortmund playing at? We've given them the 108 million they want. 90 plus 18 is 108. They're right, it is, but it's not the deal that Dortmund want, because if you actually read the detail, that's 90 million plus 18 million in add-ons, but also the fee would involve paying in instalments over the next 2-3 seasons for the England forward. So the fee is the 90 million, and what that is saying there is that United will pay 108 million potentially, but it will be done 18 million in add-ons, which isn't guaranteed, because it could be if he scores 50 goals in a season. You don't know what the add-ons are. So let's take it down to 90 because you don't know what the add-ons are. For Bruno Fernandes has got add-ons, but we paid 47. It will go up to 60 if he reaches the add-ons. So add-ons are good if you can get them, but let's get rid of the add-ons. It's 90 million, but that 90 million is being paid over 3 years. That's the sticking point. It's not 90 million up front. It's 90 million plus 18 million in add-ons. Well, the add-ons, as I said, they'll be performance related, but Dortmund aren't going to take 90 either. They're going to probably get 30, 30, 30. So effectively, what United are asking Dortmund to do is take 30 this year, 30 next year, and 30 the year after, and maybe they'll get a little bit more in add-ons. So, but the encouraging thing here is that's good. That is good. This is early. This is the deal that maybe they were talking about a month ago that for some reason got parked. If you're picking that deal up and United have offered 90 million plus 18 in add-ons, that's workable. That is definitely encouraging, and that is definitely workable. Now United are going to probably have to go up, but basically the fundamentals of the deal are there. It does add up to 108 million. And the fact that United are willing to do a deal that adds up to 108 million, you've just got to restructure it a bit, I think is really positive. So, hands in the air if you're in the 90% club. I'm still at 90%, by the way. I'm not going to go higher than that. Eric Deck, welcome to the members club. Nearly said something a little bit rude there. Sunshine Digital Media Agency will get the Man United anthem jacket if Sancho signs, putting money in the right place. Yep. And welcome to Lucas, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Mark Fabrizio tweeted that the bid he spoke about was an old one from August. That was unofficial and not accepted. There's no fresh bid. Check Twitter. I don't know whether it's I don't know whether, well, I will check Twitter, but to me, that actually doesn't really matter. The reality is I've just read it in an article anyway. Let me have a quick look. Jadon Sancho has an agreement on personal... That was 3 hours ago. Let me have a quick look. It doesn't really matter, but if there is something to add to it, we are live. No. I mean, there's nothing on Twitter about it. Manchester United make breakthrough. Great job, Fabrizio. I love your sincerity. Thanks. Okay. I'll go back to the article again and I'll read exactly what it says. It is understood Dortmund is... United have so far been reluctant to meet those demands and are understood to have offered to pay an initial 90 million, a fee that would set a transfer record for an English player. Look, I don't know when that... I'm not saying that bid's gone in today. I'm not saying the bid's gone in today. I don't care whether it's gone in today or in August. The reality is it's massively encouraging because it's the fundamentals of a deal. And to be honest with you, I hope it is from August, because if it's from August, I don't want to be saying I told you so, but go back to the start of August and the videos we did. There's a video at the start of August where we said personal terms agreed and this deal is really, really, really close. All it is crossing the I's and dotting the T's. I've said that. I stand by that, and I stand by that information. And if that bid that they're talking about in the article they released 15 minutes ago is a bid that went in August, well, that only backs up the information that was around then. I personally, there's a very good question here in the live comments, and they said, can you please answer it? If the bid was in August and the personal terms were agreed in August, why have United dropped the ball for 5 weeks? And I think that's a really interesting point if you're interested in transfers, and I think I respect you and I think that you are. So if the bid went in August and it wasn't enough, and the personal terms were agreed in August, why have we had 5 weeks of personal terms and haven't been agreed and there's no bid? My theory on this is that if you're Manchester United and every pound counts, would you spend 90 million on Jadon Sancho at the start of August, or would you do it 6 weeks later, just before the start of the season? Considering £90 million in your bank for another 6 weeks is a considerable amount of interest, and 6 weeks without paying Jadon Sancho 250 grand a week is 1.5 million. So by waiting until mid-September, Man United have probably saved themselves a couple of £1 million. So look, that's my theory. Maybe United didn't want to do this deal until September because actually getting him in August made no sense because we were still playing in the Europa League. We were going to have a couple of weeks off, so you're paying somebody for nothing. I mean, look, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. Welcome to John Buckingham, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for everyone who is joining the Members Club, by the way. I'm no longer in the 90% club, says Philip Holmes. I'm now on the 93% club. The fact we've made a bid now is encouraging. Well, I would quantify that, Philip, and say that maybe this bid went in August, but to me that's absolutely irrelevant. It doesn't matter. The reality is a bid has gone in, and if it went... And here's a point for you. For people getting their knickers in a twist, oh, Mark, the bid didn't go in today, it went in August. Well, I'll tell you what, do you want me to give you another interpretation of positivity? Because I'm going to give you one anyway. If that bid went in August and was rejected, but we're still negotiating... yabba dabba do, because it shows that we've had the bid rejected and we still haven't walked away. So look, I would imagine Manchester United are very, very reluctant to get too positive about this because it's not done. It's a major deal. It's a massive deal. But we're in the fight. Sancho wants to come. Personal terms are done with Jadon Sancho, and we're much further forward tonight than we were this morning. People believe different things they want to believe. I know, you know what? What I would say as well, in defence of Manchester United here, is that what world are we going to be operating in? Welcome to Papa Green, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And hi, Mark, great show. Going by the recent events, can we expect that United are finally going to submit an official bid for Sancho, says Realistic27. Well, The Guardian, through Fabrizio Romano and Ed Aarons, are saying that we actually have. So I would go along with that. I would go along with that. We've already put a bid in, and that makes me more excited because we're still actually negotiating. But I just want to stick up for Manchester United a little bit here and the reason I do it is if they get this deal done, there is not many Man United fans are going to sit there and say Van der Beek and Sancho isn't great business. It is. So look, we're on the crest of brilliance. But what I would also say as well, I do hear this from Dortmund fans and some other fans. Well, you know what? Why should Dortmund sell? They can sell him for more money next summer. Well, can they sell him for more money next summer? only today in the UK they've put us back into restrictions. We can't be in groups of more than 6. It's looking unlikely that we're going to get over this coronavirus thing anytime soon. In fact, I think we're going to see an autumn and winter of back and forth with this increase in infection rates. How is that going to fall into line with getting 60, 70,000 people back into Dortmund's ground or Old Trafford? So I think clubs are going to lose money over the next year. Next summer is a gamble for Dortmund. Will you get more money or will you get less money for Sancho? Next summer, he will have 2 years left on his contract. Next summer, COVID could still be here. So you may end up getting less money next summer than you get this summer. So that's something for Dortmund to consider, although I agree that they will dig their feet in. And also, if United can construct a deal with add-ons on it, whether Dortmund want that to happen, but if United can do it, that's a security blanket for Manchester United. If United pay 90 million for Sancho with 18 million in add-ons, it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee because there are people out there who say, you know what, I'm not even that convinced by Sancho. He looks good, but he's not Neymar, is he? He's not Messi. He's not definitely going to be world class. You're buying world class, one of the best players in his age group, but is he going to be world class? And add-ons, if United can get add-ons in, really does give us that security blanket that, look, we're happy to pay 108 million, but we want to make sure we're getting a 108 million pound player. So look, let's just see how it develops. And also, I think that the other thing I would say before I move on to other things and some of your questions is the time frame is important. You get these plonkers saying it's happening on this date, it's happening on that date. Total nonsense. It's guesswork. This deal could happen on October the 4th. It could happen on Friday. And anybody I've spoken to in the last couple of hours, of which there's been 3 or 4, everybody's saying that. Some people are still saying, look, I'm 50-50. I'm 90%. Hello, how are you? But no, I'm 90%, but I know people are 50-50. But I don't know anybody who's saying this is going to be done by Friday, this is going to be done by next Wednesday. He'll definitely be wearing a United shirt for the Palace game. Actually, it will go to the last day of the transfer window. Nobody actually knows because much of it now depends on how quickly we can negotiate with Dortmund. But have no doubts about it. That's where we're at now. There's been confusion for the last few weeks. There's been he's lying, all this nonsense. And remember, I think it's very important, and I always try to do this. I value the English press, and I do obviously value people like Fabrizio Romano and Christian Falk and Fjortoft. I think around this deal, everybody's been really good. But you can decide who you're going to believe, but I don't discount others. I don't discount Manchester Evening News. I don't discount Simon Stone. I don't discount James Ducker. I don't just because I want to believe what Romano's saying. My interpretation of this is the British press are probably getting a lot of their information from United sources, whether that's leaks or whether it's the club. I don't know. I think Romano's getting his information probably from lawyers involved in the deal, maybe the agent of Sancho, maybe from Dortmund. So you're getting 2 different stories. And it's a game. It's a game of poker, as Christian Falk would say. So some people are going to put things out to make them look good. Some people are going to make themselves to look them good. But the important thing for me, and the reason this afternoon's video and tonight's video especially is a real step forward, is this morning we didn't know any of this. What we know tonight is United's last hurdle is getting a deal done with Dortmund, and that Sancho is trying to push this move, and that United have actually, according to Romano and the Guardian article, they have actually put a bid in. Now, whether that bid went in today or whether it went in August, I think it was August, that's still massively positive news. So, look, if you don't like this sort of thing, do one. If you do like this sort of thing, and I bloody love it, then smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Sancho will be a United player soon, says Andy Jarre. And welcome to the Members Club, Adam Jenkins. Thank you very much for joining us. I want to make sure that Stefan McVeigh and Donny van der Beek has joined. Imagine if it's the real one. Thank you very much for that, Donny. And a couple of super chats here. I think United are struggling with this deal because Dortmund are a serious club and won't want a few days to buy a quality winger to replace Sancho, says Joshua Harper. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Joshua, but to a certain extent, Jadon Sancho wants to go, so it's sort of irrelevant in many ways. Mart, not exactly the same, but appears this Sancho deal is quite similar with Havertz. Personal terms agreed first, than negotiating the final offer, says Andrew C. And I think Andrew's made a very good point there, because if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, personal terms were Havertz from people like Christian Falk and Romano. I think there was at least a couple of weeks between that and the deal being done. So it'll be interesting to see how quick this happens now. Mark, is there nothing else to talk about? Sancho's becoming like a broken record, says Yankat. I think Venkat's one of those people who needs to do one. I mean, mate, if you don't want to watch it, there's loads of stuff out there. 10-pin bowling, ice skating. You go and watch it. We'll keep talking about this, because I'm absolutely sorry to say this, but Pratt alert. I mean, this is major news on what will be our biggest transfer in the club's history, on one of the best young players in his age group coming to Manchester United and occupying our most iconic shirt. There are big developments in the last hour and the last few hours on this. If you're bored of it, go and do what makes you not bored. If the bid with a lower upfront amount was rejected in early August, it's a good sign we still want and sign Donny, as we must know we can get Sancho for a lower upfront fee than the reported 70 million, says Glenn Tracy. I think the bids are positive. I think it's better that the bid was rejected in August than it was in September. For those joining a little bit late, there's an article come out in the last hour that Manchester United have already made a bid for Jadon Sancho. We think it's from August. It's coming from an article in The Guardian with Fabrizio Romano that United offered 90 million plus 18 million in add-ons, but it was knocked back. We think this was in August, and if that's the case, I think it's better that it was in August than it was today, because if it was knocked back today, United might go, well, that's it, that's a final offer. But if it was knocked back in August, we know we're still negotiating, so it means that we're going to, sort things out, hopefully. If there is no movement by September the 20th or so, Dortmund won't sell. They need a replacement, says Anup. Can I just say, Dortmund don't have the power in this deal. Can I just say that? They don't. They're not that club. And what I mean by that is that if United pay what Dortmund have asked for, and Sancho will know what Dortmund want, then he has to go. So Dortmund can't say no. Dortmund cannot, if United offer the 108 million and Dortmund say no, Sancho will go, hold on a minute, you're not this club. Ousmane Dembele, Aubameyang, Jude Bellingham, you buy young players to sell them off. You've got the fee for me. You bought me for 10 million. You're going to get another 100 million on top of that within 3 years. You promised me that would be the fee you'd let me go for. Don't be the club that ruins its reputation in developing young players and letting them go. So as long as United go to the fee that Dortmund want, then Dortmund will be powerless because they will have to honour it. Shrey the Grey says, I hope we don't forget to sell the deadwood in our squad while the Sancho saga plays out. Your thoughts, Mark? Remember, multitasking isn't our forte. Well, to be honest, let's get him done. We almost got Sancho, Paul Pogba and Fred. Marcus Rashford is Mike born and bred, says Matt. And interesting that all the tier ones came on Twitter at the same time to say wages and fees are now okay. Briefing from the club, perhaps, says What a Steve. Well, I predicted it. If you check my Twitter feed, when James Ducker came out, I said expect Simon Stone, Simon Peach and others to come out. And within an hour, Simon Stone did. Love videos. So excited about Sancho. Thank you for all the updates, says Lee Wilford. I feel that tonight's the biggest update we've had on Jadon Sancho since the start of August. If you want my honest opinion, having done this for 5 years, I've done Pogba. Obviously, we've done Bruno, Harry Maguire. I mean, we've done so many transfers, and people say, "Oh, you're talking out your arse." Look, we're quoting the people it's coming from, and then we're using our experience as a community to digest that news. And we've probably, how many transfers do you think we've done over 5 years? How many times do you think we've been through this process? We're not the source. We may get information. I'm talking we collectively as a community. We're not the source, and we may get information and we digest it together. But what we definitely are is experienced in the process of Manchester United transfers. So that's why I'm 90% really, because I just think they go. Who do you think the centre-back's going to be? Ashley Smith? I don't think we're going to get one, mate. If United have a very solid attack and midfield and a weak or average defence, then can we still fight for top honours? Says Anish. And this is positive. JS7 incoming, says Rahul. Sancho's going to be a United player soon. Lots of people saying that. Please smash a like on the video if you're watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Do you think James Ducker is more reliable than Simon Stone and Simon Peach, says Ehab? I think that I think he's somebody that I would listen to. Yeah, I think he is somebody that I would listen to. And I'd probably put him at, I don't like. I think it's somewhat disrespectful, isn't it, to do that. But I think he's credible. I suppose that's the quickest answer. Just to clarify, this is from Fabrizio Romano. This bid was the last unofficial bid from Manchester United in August. They're still waiting for the next step because Dortmund want 120 million euros or nothing without add-ons included. So therefore, what Fabrizio Romano is saying there is exactly what we said. So the bid went in August. This is positive. I think it's better that it went in August because we've gone back in again. And on top of that, the add-ons they don't want. And let's not forget, the bid that went in August, according to Romano, was 90 million with 18 million in add-ons. Well, add-ons isn't money unless Sancho does whatever those add-ons relate to. And that 90 million could have been 30 over 3 years. So United are going to have to work on that. I'm confident they can do it. And what makes me most excited is United have actually constructed a deal worth 108 million. Now they're going to have to tweak it. I get that. Dortmund have rejected it. We're going to have to tweak it. But the important part of it is this story is that the bones of 108 million pounds is there. We've just got to tweak it about a bit. The worrying thing would have been if Fabrizio Romano was saying an unofficial bid went in at the start of August for 70 million with 10 million in add-ons. Well, you're miles off then. So the encouraging thing is that this unofficial bid actually does total up and just needs a little bit of tweaking, which is really exciting. There are other things to talk about tonight, by the way. Zane's in the house. He says, Mark, I think Partey will be a bigger signing than Sancho. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected any better. This is a breakthrough. Mark, is this a breakthrough or is it the English press catching up? If Romano is saying nothing new from August, nothing has moved for 6 weeks. The reason it's a breakthrough, Joshua, is that, and the reason some people don't understand why it is a breakthrough, is that when the English press are acknowledging what Romano said, whether that thing was said in August, which it was, it's still a development because it means whoever's briefing the English press, whether it be Manchester United or, to be fair, it might not be United, it could be sources from United, leaks from United. The important progression is that those leaks are now saying what Romano said, whereas up until even a couple of days ago, they were saying that agent fees and personal terms hadn't been agreed. So they've had to acknowledge that they are, which progresses the deal. How about having a segment on the show called Pratt of the Week or Pratt of the Month, says Shrey Gray. There'll be lots of competitions for that. I'd be in it sometimes. I'll join when Ed pulls his finger out his arse. Hate him, the Pratt, says Jadon Sancho. And will you be happy with Sancho and Van der Beek, says Kendall. No, I mean, look, I'm hyped about Sancho at the moment because we're getting developing news and it's exciting. And you get lost in that transfer like we did with Van der Beek and we did with Bruno. But I said it, I didn't think that the January transfer window was good enough. I felt that Agallo wasn't the striker we should have gone for. And if we do end up with Sancho and Van der Beek, which I expect, I will still say we should have got a centre-back as well because I know Ollie wanted one. I don't see any reason the club would remove the excuse of problems with the agent fees and players unless they were confident this will happen, says Gustav. And look, you know what? If anybody, off topic, but could McTominay be a centre-back for us? I mean, never say never, but I don't think it's the ideal, to be honest with you. But can I just say this? For anybody who is still negative about this deal or don't think there's any progress, I can't convert you. You know, the evidence is staring you in the face. But what I would say to those people that are feeling positive, and maybe you want to feel a little bit more positive, let's break this down where we are now in relation to how this could go wrong. Jadon Sancho is forcing the move. Jadon Sancho and his agent have agreed terms with Manchester United. Manchester United have had one bid unofficially knocked back, which actually totals to 108 million and only needs tweaking to make Dortmund happy. Solskjaer wants Sancho desperately, and he's the priority signing of the summer. United to walk away from those 5 things. How could you ever twist that? How could you ever make the fans believe that the club are ambitious? How could you ever make everything okay again? And look, I'm not sympathising with Manchester United there. I'm just actually presenting the real situation. We know Sancho wants to come. We know he's trying to force the move. We know, in a polite way, by the way, he's not chucking a transfer request in. I want to make that clear. He just wants the move. You know, he wants the move. He might be forcing the move by telling United to get their arse in gear. He might have not said anything to Dortmund, but he wants the move. And he actively wants the move. Solskjaer wants him. Is the United priority signing, and Dortmund will take a fee that's reasonable, I believe. If we walk away from that and go into the season with David Brooks or Douglas Costa on loan, we will forever know that Jadon Sancho is playing for Dortmund when he wanted to play for United, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted him, and it was that close. How do you walk away from that? Tell me how you... I'm not saying we can't walk away from it, but I'm telling you, I'm saying, how do you walk away from that? It would be a PR nightmare. And it would absolutely say to every United fan, sorry, we don't want to be that ambitious because we don't want to spend that much money. Whether it's justifiable or not. Worth noting that Depay is going to Barcelona. How much do we get as a sell-on clause from it? The fees might be around 40 million. And up, I said this to Drawty this afternoon. We get nothing from Memphis Depay going anywhere. We don't have any clause that we get any money back. We had a first refusal. A first refusal means that when Barcelona offer Lyon the fee that Lyon accepts, they'll ring United up and say, we're accepting this bid of 30 million for Memphis Depay. Do you want to put a counter bid in because you've got first refusal? And United will go, no. That's it. There's nothing else than that. Wilfried Zaha's more exciting because he was trending tonight that Zaha could be going to Everton. Now this is music to my ears because Everton are very exciting. They're exciting me. James Rodriguez, Alan, Decore, Andre Gomez, Richarlison. They've got some good players. They add Zaha into that. They're a club that's spending money. They've got rich owners. But if they spend 60 million on Zaha, we get 15 million because we get 25%. So, you talk about Chris Smalling going for 15 million, that'll go into the transfer fund. We can make 15 million just by that. Just by Zaha going off. So, that's a bit of positivity as well. It all adds up. Every little helps. It would make my day if you could say Paul and Jaheim are Prats, says Gilmore TV. And, hey Mark, I feel Sancho alone won't help. I get all the hype. It's a big transfer, big player, big money, but we still need a good centre-back, says Rohit. I agree. I don't disagree with you on that one. Anyway, let me just talk about some other news now. Interestingly enough, remember last week, this was a quick story actually. Remember last week, there was a story from Italy that United had made a late offer for Sandro Tonali of Brescia, midfielder, the Italian Roy Keane, if you've watched my FIFA career mode. And I said, well, look, you know what? I'm encouraged by that because I knew he'd stay in Italy, but at least United are scouting the right player. And then Manchester Evening News, I think it was, said something along the lines of that a United source has laughed that off, as nonsense. Romano said today that United made an offer the day before for Tonali, but Tonali wants to stay in Italy. So again, what I'm frustrated about a little bit is that we are the fans, we are the consumer, we are the customer. And I get both people need to play both sides, but how are we supposed to make our mind up when one person or outlet that we're meant to trust and can trust sometimes and another outlet that we trust are saying totally different things? So British press again saying that United laughed off the interest in Tonali. Fabrizio Romano saying they did offer for Tonali. I want to believe Tonali. I want to believe Romano. I don't care if United get knocked back sometimes, because in that case, Tonali's a young lad. I think he's an AC Milan fan, and he's Italian. He wants to play in Italy. I'd love it if United tried to sign Tonali. I'd applaud the club. I'd love the fact that we got rejected. I would rather we came out and said nothing and you let us think we were in for Tonali than us come out and laugh it off. I don't know why we'd laugh it off. He's exactly the sort of player we should be looking at. So I found that quite interesting. And I don't care if you rejected us. I would bloody love it if United tried to sign him because I think it's exactly this sort of intelligent foreign scouting network that we want to see more of. What's happening with Reguilon? I don't know. I think the next couple of days are going to be really interesting. Are we going to go for Reguilon? Or are we going to focus on Sancho? Could we do both? Both deals seem quite difficult. I think there's going to be a lot of negotiation with Dortmund. And I think there's going to be a lot of negotiation with Real Madrid. I don't think we can do them same time. So which one are we going to go for first? Will we discard one? Let's see. Also, what else? Upamecano, talking about a centre-back. The manager of RB Leipzig, what's his bloody name? I can think of his name. I can picture his face. Nagelsmann has come out and said that Upamecano will definitely be at Leipzig this season. Next summer, maybe he'll move. I mean, we knew this anyway, but the manager coming out and saying that. Mark, love the show. Says, I hope there's not a but. I love the show. Says Jonathan Woodward. Talking sense makes the difference for me. The others are not the same. Thank you very much. Well, look, I respect the community. and the community for me of the United Stand has always been us. It's you because US is United Stand, but it's not me, it's us. We've got a community that we've built. People will remember stories talking about transfers, 4 years ago about Lozano in a hotel room in London. Check it out. We've always done this. I think the bigger we get, new people come involved and they think, oh, not another video about Sancho. It's just the same old shit. And you think, piss off. Piss off. Because we've built a community here and it's a little bit deeper than, terms. It's built up. The Sancho story is like it's like a soap opera. If you watched every video on Sancho, everything will feed into everything. Remember that in August? This. The video this afternoon was basically a scene setter for what was going to come tonight. It was Romano repeating what was said in August and basically saying, I'm not a liar. And, actually, Fabrizio Romano deserves a lot of credit today because he could have said nothing. He said last night, I'm going to explain the situation with Sancho. He didn't need to do that. He explained the situation with Sancho and it's forced the British press and United sources to clarify it. It's pushed the story further forward. And that's what Romano did today. And that's why responding to Romano's statement or podcast was very important for us because it set the scene. And then in the following hours, we've seen basically the response to what Romano has said. Romano basically coming out and saying, what I said in August wasn't a lie. There is no issue with the agent fees or Sancho's wages. And then that has basically baited everyone out to say, are you going to say the same thing again, that it is a problem? Or are you going to do what has been said, where they've all come out and said, it's not an issue anymore, the deal's moving forward? So, big up Fabrizio Romano, but big up the community because most of you, I think, understand the progression of what these videos are about because there is progression. And I'm excited. I'm Mr. 90%, as I said. Mark, can you say Daniel Brady has a dodgy barnet? Says Kevin Brady. I would love to see All or Nothing made on United and see how the club works on transfers and Ollie's team talk, says Shawnick. I'd love to, I would love to be a fly on the wall in United transfer chats. Delicate Official says, could you hypothetically see us buying both Reguilon and Tellez and using Shaw as a left-sided centre-back instead of signing somebody for centre-back? Says that. I mean, look, people have mentioned on this show tonight McTominay as a centre-back. I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I think Luke Shaw can play left-sided centre-back very easily. But, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with it, is my feeling with regards to that. Tuto Sport are saying that United could be in for Kante. I mean, I wanted to just chuck it in there for a little bit of light-hearted transfer bollocks, really. We've focused on a very heavy, serious topic with many strands to it. But Kante to United, as much as I would love to see N'Golo Kante at Manchester United, and as much as I think Chelsea would like to let him go because of the way they're moving, I don't know why an Italian outlet would be talking about us with Kante, and I don't think it's going to happen. If I'm absolutely honest with you, but it's certainly something I would like to see happen, of course. But I don't think there's going to be anything in that. If I'm absolutely honest. Let's just come back here. I'm just making sure there's nothing breaking while we're live because I just feel it. I mean, I suppose the next relevant point, the next relevant question, without looking at the live comments, is what happens next. Even I would, if I was in the live comments, I'd be saying what happens next. What happens next is going to be really important. Are we going to get an influx of competition whereby all the, because basically you've got the British press now on board. You've got Romano on board. Christian Falk will probably say something. Are we now going to see a race for being first with info? Or are we now going to see, let's settle in for the negotiations? It could be 2 days away. It could be 3 weeks away. And I think the next 24 to 48 hours are going to be interesting because also Sergio Reguilon's there as well. And I think I don't think United are capable of doing 2 deals at once. So I think in the next 24 to 48 hours, we're going to see how intense the Sancho talks are and how advanced the Sergio Reguilon talks are. And one of them is going to take a back seat. And for me, which one would I rather have into United first? Well, Luke Shaw's fit, so I'd rather have Sancho in first, and Reguilon can come in a couple of weeks. Sancho makes us better as an attacking team. We've got Crystal Palace at home and Brighton away. I think we can get by defensively, but we need to be as good as we can be in attack, especially with Rashford carrying an injury and Mason Greenwood. I mean, there's talk today that Mason Greenwood's had to have a COVID-19 test and he's not back training yet. So Sancho to me is the more important player. So hopefully that's the one that escalates. But it could be that Reguilon becomes the deal now. But we'll find out in the next couple of days, I think. Mark, Ronaldo has 5 years left. If he comes back to the league, he will score at least 20 goals a season and will do more than Sancho and he'll get more shirts. I mean, I'd love Ronaldo back. Andre, latest member of the Nightstar Members Club. Mojo, Mark, do you believe Lindelof, Maguire, Bailly are good enough to face Champions League quality attacks? Not as a pairing. I think any of those players, if you put them with an Upamecano or a Koulibaly or a Van Dijk, I think they'd be really good partnerships. I just don't think Lindelof and Maguire are a good partnership. I don't think Lindelof and Bailly are a good partnership, and I don't think Maguire and Bailly are a good partnership. I think United need to build a centre-back partnership. That's why, to me, bringing a centre-back in was a priority, because I think we've got good centre-backs. I just don't think there's a combination that works, unless Twansebi is going to be the answer. Or Mengi is a really long shot, but I think that's ridiculous to expect him to be the answer this season. So that's why I wanted a centre-back. I'm going to join with Jaden. Frank's a prat, says N'Golo Kante. Jaden King just said, what happens next? The last time McSaws plays centre-back, we got thrashed by West Ham, says Kwanali. I'm still haunted by that game. Thanks for the news, Mark, and screw the Glazers, by the way. Well, I hope that the video, especially the first few minutes, has provided clarity to where we're at, what's happened, and why it's significantly exciting. I hope more of you are now part of the 90% club, and I hope more of you are as excited as I am. I've always felt since, was it the end of March when lockdown started, that we would sign Jadon Sancho. Probably before that, I don't know, but certainly I remember when we were doing videos in lockdown, I was saying we'll sign Sancho. I'm totally confident of it, and I've been totally confident for a long time. And there's never been a time, despite, I tweeted it out the other day, somebody I really trust said, I don't think we're getting him. But I don't just talk to one person, and also a lot of the things I read and see are what you see publicly. So I've never seen anything that has made me go, right, I'm worried. And it could happen tomorrow. Examples would be Jadon Sancho coming out and saying I'm staying at Dortmund. I think I would go, shit. That 90% would drop like a bowling ball in the ocean. It would drop, because that would be significant. But I've never seen anything significant to make me worry about Sancho. And I've always been very confident, and I've always said it will happen. So I hope a lot of you feel like that. I know it's pressure that United won't want, but that's what you get paid the money for. That's why we all buy the merchandise, the season tickets, the Sky and BT subscriptions, whatever it is in your country. This is why we pay to follow our club, because we love it. And this is why Ed Woodward and co are on hundreds of thousands of pounds, because nobody said it was easy. I'm not expecting the negotiations with Dortmund to be easy. They won't be easy. Dortmund have got a very, very, clear reputation. But this is where you earn your money. And this is where, if you get it done, you'll take the praise. So, go and get it done. Simple as that. Simple as that. James Harrison says Bruno for captaincy instead of Mykonos Maguire. Hendo to start over dodgy calamari finger Dave. And Goldilocks Goldbridge to get his Sancho deal done. I don't know about that. I don't agree with any of that. Dave in goal for me. Milan have signed Tonali, says Edvin. Fantastic player. I look forward to seeing how Tonali's career goes. I think he's fantastic. The Italian Roy Keane. And do you think Thomas Partey could come in to be the final piece of our midfield? No. I genuinely do think Arsenal will get Aouar or Partey. And if they get both, bloody hell. I mean, look, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the great thing is, if we can get Sancho done quickly, and there's no guarantee we will, but, you know, who knows? Maybe we get Sancho over the weekend like we did Van der Beek, right? We go into next season, which starts next week for us, with Van der Beek and Sancho, and maybe another player. That's improvement. Don't care what anybody says. That is improvement. That is progress. That is ambition. You've got Everton with bloody James Rodriguez and others. You've got Chelsea with half of Europe. You know, if Arsenal then get Partey and OR, and they've got Willian and Gabriel, and, you know, suddenly it's a very exciting league with a lot of teams trying to do things to close the gap on the teams in front of them. And I embrace that. I think, you know, Mourinho's at Spurs, you know, are they going to be better? So look, you know, I'm very excited about the start of this Premier League, but I have a little bit of anxiety because I just want United to get this deal done and show the ambition to give us the excitement that we want. Mark, watch Pepe be better than Sancho next season. Arteta will get the best out of him. Well, I was told to watch Pepe be better than Dan James last season, and that didn't work out right. So I couldn't give a shit about that, to be honest. I think Everton are going to be the surprise package. I've said that on my That's Football Premier League prediction show, to be honest. But look, exciting. Sancho is apparently forcing the move, according to the Telegraph. And a bid has gone in unofficially in August for 108 million, but it was on add-ons and instalments. And Dortmund want no add-ons. So United are back in there. It's progressing. We're in the fight. It's encouraging that we've got the money because the 108 million was offered in instalments, and there's none of this fear that the issue is the agent or the wages for the player. So look, I'm excited tonight. Let's see what's going to come out next. There might be something coming out tonight. I mean, what more can there be? I mean, realistically, we're negotiating with Dortmund now. Unless they come out tonight and say a deal's been agreed with Dortmund, the rest of it's just noise. We've had the positivity. Let's see what tomorrow brings. And Friday, will we go for Sancho? Will we go for Reguilon? I hope we go for Sancho first. Let's see what happens. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all your patience today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of this fantastic community that we've built, the United Stand. You know, I know it's heavy going. I know it's frustrating at times. But look, if you listen and you participate and you understand what we're saying, there's been big progress today. And a big up to Fabrizio Romano, because if he hadn't done that today, I don't think we would have got half this information tonight. He basically baited them all by saying I'm not lying, and they've had to react. I think it's fantastic. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And also a massive thanks to Boohoo Man, of course. I'm wearing it, Model Gold Bridge. Links in the video description. They're offering up 40% exclusive for you. If you want to get some of this fantastic clobber that I'm wearing, check out the link in the video description. Load up your basket. When you go to checkout, put in United Stand as the voucher code and you will get 40% off exclusively for United Stand viewers. Link in the video description. Check it all out. And a big thanks to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the show. And a big thanks to you for watching it. I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.